Hi there, it's John Mansell, ex-Booze Hound. Again, I haven't done a vlog for, it's coming up for about 8 weeks. I think the last vlog was called Looking for My Mojo, as I'd just lost, I guess I'd lost interest in life and stuff. That's over the top, but you know what I mean. The reason I'm doing this vlog in part is because of a couple of messages I've had recently. One indirect and a couple of direct messages, and I'm gonna read them to you now. Wrong note. His videos are so powerful. He is such an inspiration. Now, it's a bit weird really, because since I started the vlogs and the blogs and whatever, a lot of people have said that I'm an inspiration, I'm inspirational and that sort of thing, and that's really difficult to accept. I know people out there who I think are inspirational and I think are amazing. They find it almost impossible to accept compliments like that, and that's because, in part, that's what mental illness does to you. It makes you completely not believe in yourself. And when I talk about mental illness, and I'm also including addiction, and I'm including all other issues that surrounding it, like eating disorders and self-harm, and people who've been sexually abused, PTSD, all those sort of things, anxiety, depression. Doesn't matter what label you've got, if you've got a label. Deep down, from my experience and for the people I've spoken with, I think deep down, every person who seems to have an issue with mental health issues or other issues like I just mentioned before, they have a huge lacking of self-esteem and belief in themselves. And in my case in particular, I have a word to describe why I feel like that, and that's my demons. And my demons are, or pretty much every day they'll have a go at me, telling me what a waste of space I am, and what a failure at life I am, and all that sort of stuff. They're there all the time. There's a particular thing that they're picking on at the moment that's sort of destroying me every time it comes into my mind. But every one of us has been in that place before, and we always come out the other side, whether it be in a day, an hour, 3 weeks, 4 months. We come out the other side, and that's the important part. You just got to keep going. It's important that we do just keep going and don't give into the demons that are inside this fucked up, whatever you want to call it. Another message: you are a strong man and always there, showing people they are not alone. And as it happens, I've got another one. I've had a couple recently that have mentioned me being strong. Someone said, "I wish I was as strong as you." Well, the truth is I'm no stronger than anybody else. I guess, when we go back to 2013, when I had the mental breakdown, people see that as a negative thing. But deep down, it's not negative, it's positive, because it means I actually take my mental health seriously. And I do a lot to look after it. And that, in part, is getting the right levels of rest that I need, chilling out, relaxing when I can during the day. I don't live a full life like normal people do. I get panicky sometimes, if I've got a couple of things I've got to do in one day. So, for example, Friday, I'm meant to be doing something in the morning with a local sort of housing association, and then in the afternoon, I'm going for lunch with a great mate, a guy called John Healy, who's part of the Today Together stuff and runs some of the groups for us. And that's stressing me out because I've got 2 things to do in a day. It's ridiculous, but it's just life. So I'm no stronger than anybody else. I just work hard on trying to change the way my mind, the way I react to the negativity in life. I'm off to see my psychiatrist in a bit, and we've started reducing my medication. Now, part of me thinks that's a good thing because I don't feel like a zombie as often as I do, but also I don't know whether the lack of connection with the world is down to that, but that's bullshit because I've been saying that for years, that I feel unconnected. We don't always have the answers. We can sit here trying to work out what's going on. We can spend hours and hours and hours wasting our time on that, or we can just accept, it is what it is, and do what we can to move forward. There's a lot of people out there who, with our illnesses, they don't leave the house, they don't do anything, they and sometimes I think life would be a lot easier if I just gave in and just did that. But I can't do that, Someone once sent me a link to a song, I can't remember who it's by. Sometimes I feel like giving up, but it's just not in my blood. I can't give up, I won't give up. Now, life, as I say, I don't live a massively full life, and if I'm honest, I very, very rarely get any enjoyment or satisfaction out of life. Now, you can look at this as a good thing, you can look at it as a bad thing. At the end of the day, it's like if you have a Sunday roast every Sunday, then it's not special. If you're only very rarely getting enjoyment out of life, then those moments of enjoyment you have to cherish. You have to remember them. When you've had a laugh with somebody, or you've been out somewhere and done something a little bit different, or you just had a good conversation with somebody. It is, I guess, sad that I don't get a lot of enjoyment out of life. Very little enjoyment out of life, but what I do is I make sure that when I do enjoy stuff, that I remember it, and it's that thing where I can spend my whole life just thinking. A part of me just believes sometimes that majority of the time I'm just existing rather than living, and I do want to live life, but at times I do live life. One of the things that I am really enjoying at the moment is I've been into a couple of schools 3 or 4 times, maybe 5 times this year, talking to sort of the older students about the reality of mental illness and addiction, and how important it is that we catch it as soon as we can to be able to do something about it. And I've been getting some great feedback, and you can see in the kids' eyes that they appreciate me being up there, being honest and open. And one of the things I had back from somebody saying, they found it, really, they're really thankful that you were willing to stand up in front of them and talk about, what's perceived as a weakness, I guess. A middle-aged man who's a retired alcoholic and has mental health issues, doesn't have his own place, can't work, skint all the time. But at the end of the day, it's It's really, really rewarding. So if there is any teachers out there or headmasters of schools locally that they would like to add to their PSHE some actual physical interaction to help the students understand mental health and addiction and self-harm and things better, and give them an opportunity to speak to somebody who in theory knows what he's talking about, and will be completely honest with them. You know, I always say, obviously with the kids you have to tone down the language a bit and be a little bit careful, but there really isn't anything that I wouldn't say, and really isn't anything I wouldn't answer. I don't know what I'm going to call this vlog. Not yet anyway. And I don't know whether, I always say this, I don't know whether what anything I've said helps. But if those notes that I've had earlier, you know, about, you know, my videos are very powerful, and I'm an inspiration, and that I'm a strong man, I'm always here showing people that they're not alone. That's the whole point of the vlogs and the blogs originally, you know, to tell people that, you know, people see me as strong and whatever, but I struggle every day, you know, one way or another. I struggle at some point of the day, but what I don't do is, well, not all, what I try not to do is let it consume me. Once it's consumed you, then it's hard to break out of it. And you know what, there's another thing that I've just remembered I wanted to mention. You know, I hear a lot of negativity about, you know, the NHS and adult social care and all that sort of stuff. Now, they're not perfect, but from experience, from the contacts I've had with them, the people that work within these organisations are dedicated. They want to help. They want to do all they can to help. What you've got to do is you've got to fight for your, you know, it's survival of the fittest sometimes, to get to see psychiatrists and social workers and all those sort of things. You know, you have to put your head above the parapet and seek that help. But also, really importantly, I believe, is that if you sit back and expect people in the NHS and adult social care and other and councils and all that sort of stuff to come out to your house and fix you, that's never going to happen. Never in a million years going to happen. They will help you, and they will do what they can, but when it comes down to it, it really is down to you and your attitude towards your mental illness. Take your mental illness seriously. Take your addiction seriously. Take the fact that you're self-harming seriously. If these things are happening in your life, then something's not right, and you've got to do something about it. And there's nobody out there that's got a magic wand that's going to fix you. You know, you have to take some responsibility. You know, one of the things I've made up ages ago is that in order to move forward with our illness, we must take responsibility of our own illness, and more importantly, take responsibility of our own recovery. If we don't put anything into our recovery and taking responsibility for our own illnesses, nothing's ever going to change. So, you know, get out there, get to your appointments, seek help. There's more help out there than people realise. But do it, and don't do it for other people, do it for you. You know, one of the things that's you know, difficult for people like ourselves is that why would we do it for ourselves when we don't like ourselves, when we think we're pointless, when we think we're worthless? What is there to do it for? Well, you know what, I spend a lot of time, and we all spend a lot of time, I would imagine, thinking, what's the point of this? Every time I get somewhere, the illness flares back up and it puts me back. Well, the point is that you should be proud of being as strong as you are. And you are strong, whether you believe it or not. because you're still going, you keep going, and you've got something that's serious that you've got to fight against. I'm 15 minutes in now, so I better shut up. Look, I'm no stronger than anybody else. It's great when people say I'm inspirational. You know, I take that in. It is difficult to take that in at times, and you know, again, I don't get as many views on the vlogs as I used to because I've stepped back on social media quite a lot. But if I am able to get to just one or two people and help them lift their day or lift their week, then it's worth it. You know, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this vlog, and if you can, perhaps share it with other people. You know, we're in this together. You know, we can't beat it on our own, and you know, we need to show other people that, you know, there are stories out there where people do survive, and people can thrive, and again, you know, I'm hoping I should be getting into more schools over the next few months, and hopefully I can make a difference there. Anyway, I'm going to shut up now. You know, enjoy the good and ride out the bad, as my motto is. You know, there's bad times, but there's also good times, and you've got to hold on to those good times, and keep going. And I'll catch you all soon. See you soon. Bye bye.